He's done his bit for the country. He's sacrificed his entire life. He's lived long enough. He's turning 95 next month, and people need to start to let him go.
Presidents of US and China found common grounds on North Korea apparently, as well as cyber attacks and climate change too. Barack Obama and Xi Jinping met for 8 hours over 2 days at a glamorous street in Southern California. CNN's chief White House correspondent Jessica Yellen brings us the highlights.
President Obama and Chinese President Xi wrapped up their Sunnyland summit with a late morning stroll in the California desert. President Obama declared the visit
terrific.
Over 2 days, the leaders met for a total of 8 hours.
I'm very much looking forward to this being a strong foundation for the kind of new model of cooperation that we can establish for years to come.
The summit, held just 4 months after Xi took office, meant to launch a close new relationship with a new Chinese leader.
And at present, the China-U.S. relationship has reached a new historical starting point.
The backdrop was unusual, and not just because temperatures soared above 110 degrees. They met at Sunnylands, a private estate of the Annenberg family, better known for hosting Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack and Ronald Reagan for New Year's Eve 18 times. Aides say it offered them a quiet space to work through a range of issues, among them North Korea. The leaders agreed to keep up pressure to rein in its nuclear ambitions.
I think we had quite a bit of alignment on the Korean issue, the North Korean issue, and absolute agreement that we would continue to work together.
Cyber attacks. According to the White House, the Chinese acknowledged they're a problem, agreed to investigate and work out rules of the road.
I believe we can work together on this rather than at cross purposes.
And climate change. For the first time, China agreed to work with the U.S. to limit the production of greenhouse gases. President Obama gave the Chinese leader a parting gift, this bench made of California wood.
The bench was made out of a redwood. 2 leaders were able to take a walk and were able to sit on what became the bench that the Chinese will be taking with them.
Throughout the summit, the president and his aides were peppered with questions about new revelations involving government surveillance programs. White House officials had strong words about the consequences of these leaks.
It is frankly doing an assessment of the damage that is being done to U.S. national security by the revelation of this information, which is necessarily secret, because the United States needs to be able to conduct intelligence activities without those methods being revealed to the world.
During the summit, President Xi publicly invited President Obama to visit China. White House officials say the president agreed to come, and now they're looking at holding a similar informal summit outside of Beijing in the not-too-distant future. Jessica Yellen, CNN, traveling with the president in Palm Springs, California.
The most prestigious awards in the U.S. theater, the Tony Awards, will be handed out in New York later on Sunday, but so are those on Broadway who are winners already. They are filling seats and making big bucks partly thanks to a luminary star power. CNN's Felicia Taylor has a look.
Producers of the Broadway musical Kinky Boots have good reason to shout yay. The show has the most Tony Award nominations this season and is making more than $1 million a week at the box office. A little star power may be going a long way. The show was written by pop sensation Cyndi Lauper. Other Broadway shows believe that it's all about the casting.
You can have a star read the phone book and you'd sell out. So sometimes the content of the play doesn't matter because they're going to see the celebrity.
Broadway is brimming with Hollywood heavyweights.
My wife can recite all the stops on the Long Island Railroad in a conductor's voice.
You have people like Bette Midler and Tom Hanks that star in a limited engagement of a play. That brings them in from all over the world.
I love you, Terry.
For the stars, it's a new challenge.
There is a sense of legitimacy to Broadway and a sense of truly if you can handle a Broadway schedule, Broadway critics, Broadway audiences, and there is a sense of longevity, I think, that it provides you.
Longevity for the Great White Way as well.
There was a period of time where Broadway was considered kind of the backwater of the entertainment business. It was movies and television and rock music, and Broadway was the thing that New York did. But because of the popularity of shows like The Lion King, of shows like Mamma Mia, and TV shows like Glee, I would argue that Broadway has been now lodged in the mainstream of American popular culture.
Jane Lynch, a star from the TV show Glee, recently debuted in the revival of the musical Annie. Another traditional show getting a boost from the latest star on screen.
Because Jane Lynch is here, and our daughters love her from Glee.
If she wasn't in it, you wouldn't go see it?
No, she's the best. Yeah.
I'm 23 and I love Glee, so of course I came to see her especially.
You can't even walk down the streets. It's so crowded with people from all over the world coming to see musicals on the Great White Way, Broadway, and I think it's just that thing it's in ourselves. We want to watch people break into song in the middle of a scene.
Over the past few years, Broadway has been raking in billions, with some shows literally packing the house, and several musicals taking in about $1 million a week. And that has one of the greatest streets in the world alive and well in tough economic times. Felicia Taylor, CNN, New York.
We now take our second break. Welcome back. And over now to sports. Monday is a dawning of a new era for Jose Mourinho. He is unveiled as Chelsea's new manager for the second time, but his time in Spain is still a major talking point, as you might have imagined. This weekend, Barcelona midfielder Andres Iniesta joined teammate Xavi in criticizing Jose's time in Spain. Xavi said that Mourinho's style of play has not left a lasting legacy at Real, while Iniesta says Mourinho's style did more damage to Spanish football. One man who knows a little about the former Chelsea coach is German legend and former Blues midfielder Michael Ballack. He spoke with CNN's Amanda Davis about Jose's second home coming.
Fantastic reputation at the club, also I think in England. He's a charismatic manager, and I really enjoyed working with him the 2 years, and most of the players.
Do you think he should go back?
It's a difficult question. I mean, I had a quite similar situation when I went back to Leverkusen, a former club, in the end of my career. And sometimes it's not easy because it's not the same what you had before. People changed, situation have changed. Now they won already 2 international titles, and yeah, things have changed since then, and it's difficult to answer. It's his decision.
How different is it now compared to when he was there?
The main thing is that you work with different kind of players, and like you said before, you have to bring them behind, and that's one of his biggest strengths. Bringing the key players or the whole group behind him, and then from there they go, and they are like a big group, and that's one of his biggest strengths. And he has to start again because they changed and bought a lot of players since he left, and it's like a new team.
He called himself the special one, but what was it that made him so special at Chelsea the period he was there?
I think it's not always what you see as a media. They know what he is, if he's talking to you in the camera, you know. It's always a picture what the media have from him, but we have also, as a player, we have another picture. And that's the picture in the dressing room, and that's the daily walk, you know, with him on the pitch, and the speeches, you know, when he talks to us, and that's what I can say is special, because his attitude, his personality, if he comes in front of the group, how he talks to us, was fantastic, and he brought the team behind him, and that shows not just in Chelsea, you know, he also adapted really well on an international basis. So he worked in Italy, he worked in Spain, and everywhere he had success, and that's something where you have to be really smart. You have to understand what you need to have success, and the main thing is bring the players behind him. And if you talk to former players, they worked under him, I think most of them really enjoyed it.
Do you think Chelsea can truly move forward without the managers being given time?
It's an attitude from the board, you know. Like you said, they changed a lot, they had